We had 34 co-sponsors of Bob Holden's bill 0758 last year, and they wrote to all the council members and basically asked them to take their name off, and I'll get to the reasons that they gave. And we lost 2. So what happened is we lost the opportunity to be heard, and the victims lost their voices. So TA, Transportation Alternatives, silenced our victims. It's unacceptable. They're funded by law. So one of the reasons, let's just get down and dirty, plates will dissuade ridership. If you have plates, better a plate on the bike than a life severely damaged or lost. If an e-vehicle rider doesn't want a plate, that means they want to ride with impunity and not be held to safe riding. So if plates dissuade these riders, those are exactly the riders we want to dissuade. They can change it up. I'm not being funny. They can change it up. There still are bicycles out there. And I say that because bicycles still are much less dangerous than e-bikes. E-bikes are not bicycles. They should be in a different class. They have motors, some have throttles, they're much heavier, they brake more slowly. People ride them on autopilot, they go faster. Next, TA says it's unfair to people of color to continue to allow them to ride. Basically, it's unfair of people of color to hold them accountable for their riding. It's unfair. It's unfair. We say it's actually unfair to people of color to allow them to ride with no accountability for the rider's sake. We actually care about the e-bikers. There were 30 biker deaths last year, and that includes all bicycles and e-bikes, and 23 were on e-bikes. 7 of these e-bike riders hit stationary objects. We want these riders' lives saved too. We are actually the ones that care about the riders on these e-bikes. TA says that there are more deaths by car. And I always say there's more women, unfortunately, that die from heart disease than cancer, but we still try to cure cancer. So stop with the diversion tactics, Transportation Alternatives. It's hypocritical, it makes no sense. Cars are licensed, registered, inspected, and insured. Making an e-vehicle rider ride with more accountability doesn't make cars more dangerous. It makes streets safer for all. It isn't either or. We don't have to choose. Another TA point. Let more cars, each car that is on the, each e-bike that comes on the road needs a car off the road. Basically, a car on the road, a car off the road equals an e-bike on the road. That makes absolutely no sense. I've never met a commercial worker that was driving a car prior. I don't, maybe some have, I never have, and I talked to hundreds throughout the month. I'm always talking to them. They didn't drive cars. Tourists weren't riding personal cars around the city, they were using public transportation. This also, right? I mean, we're losing a lot to the public transportation. The views of our opponents, whether they realize it or not, are extremely ageist and ableist. Disabled and older New Yorkers already isolated, they're even more isolated now. Christine Bertet, actually, who doesn't agree with a lot of our stuff, she sits on the board of TA. We met with them and we did a presentation, and she said very clearly that parks, this is our next issue, are for recreation, not transportation. They are a last place we believe that we can do it. I want to just share, she's not here because she can't walk, but 77-year-old Marilyn can no longer walk. She's learning to walk again because she was hit from behind by a delivery e-bike in the park who knocked her unconscious and fled the scene. She just got out of 3 months living in a rehab facility, learning to walk again. Leg was broken in 5 places. Her favorite thing was to ride in the park, to walk in the park, excuse me. And she will never walk in the park again because her PTSD is so bad and she can barely walk on her own. So let us hear who wants intro 0060 for prohibiting all e-vehicles in the park.